Education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belong to those who prepare for it today. A very good afternoon, respected judges and my dear fellows. It's an honor to be here with you today. I am Akanksha Manna and my topic of discussion is National Education Policy 2020 will transform education in India. Firstly, if we talk about education, which performs a dynamic role in the foundation of any country, it provides resources, forms philosophy of the nation, and constructs the mental setup of our people towards life and society. So, education is the lifeline for our existence. Our central government has recently adopted this national education policy, which was approved by the Union Cabinet of India on 29 July 2020. Its aim has to bring transformational reforms in school and higher education and thus shape India into a global knowledge superpower. The two earlier education policies were brought in 1968 and 1986. To begin with, the first prominent thing in this policy is that it introduced a 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 years of education ladder. At present, child's education does not officially start below the age of 6, but in this policy, government is taking the control and responsibility of children's education from as early as at 3 years of age, known as Early Childhood and Care Education (ECCE). It is good, but the same policy truly mentions over 85% of child's cumulative brain development occurs prior to the age of 6. That means these 3 years, that is 3 to 6 years of ages, are the formative stages of a child's brain. So, at this age, they should not be exposed to the government's national stereotyping education policies bombardment, which many a times is designed to just gain political advantage. Another notable aspect in this policy is that it emphasizes maximum on ancient India, its knowledge, method and philosophy. This is applying back gear to Indian civilization in this globalized, highly competitive world. How this unavailable lost past can be the foundation and source of our modern, present and future education. Clear concept formation will further be hampered due to specialization of subjects from secondary grade instead of higher secondary. Due to the lack of common minimum essential knowledge about our country, her people, geography, science, mathematics, economic, constitution, etc., concept formation will suffer. The policy also encourages privatization, rather corporatization of education. How can we afford to buy education from the corporate bodies at high cost? Education is the responsibility of the democratic republic government. Then why are we paying for education? Similarly, lowering the entry point qualification for PhD program will harm the quality and excellence in research. Moreover, NEP advocates for special favor to the foreign university for setting up their campuses in India. This will encourage corporate business in education. Economically weaker sections will be its first victim. Lengthening the course duration to 4 years bachelor's and 4 years B.Ed degree will invite more dropout among the poor, marginalized section who can't afford to continue education for longer duration as they are forced to enter the job market as early as possible for the sake of the earning their livelihood. Apparently, a good proposal is there to appoint local teachers who are familiar in local languages at the ECCE level. This will really be helpful for those underprivileged children, a majority of the student population, but in reality, it will be difficult to get such good teachers. This is a good effort, but the problem will be regarding textbook. We Indians do speak in more than 1,000 languages and dialects, which are our mother languages, except for a few. Almost all are devoid of any alphabet, script or written grammar. So, it is practically impossible to solve the problem of either textbook or of teachers. The policy contains some good things also. The proposal for 10 days backless intern period at 6 to 8 grades is a good one. Another good thing in this NEP 2020 is it rates 6% GDP allocation on education, which has been the unfulfilled justified recommendation of almost all the education commissions in independent India. The essential criterion for providing equal opportunities to all needs the ruler's unbiased and encompassing mentality towards all caste and community people. Education is the bone of any nation. So, it should be free from narrow party politics, capitalist interests, ideological aggression of the powerful ruling class over the weak masses. Thus, national education policy should be for protecting the interest of the country, not the interest of the Rashtra, that is the government, or the interest of the ruling class ideology. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.